Hello everybody, no longer naked SJM here to go through another episode in the All the Mods Gravitas playthrough here now. So the what we're going to be going over today is getting our winter gear together, because I'm actually just in time here. We're on the 8th of October. Tomorrow will be the 1st of November, which should be the first day of winter. Let's see, June, July, August, September, October. Oh no, November, December is the first day of, so it'll be late autumn coming up next, but we might actually start seeing snow here. And yeah, one other thing I guess I forgot to go over that I've had for a while now since I got a saw was this cane. Just needs a piece of lumber and a couple of sticks, and this allows you to move quicker through the long grass, and it will also you'll be hindered a lot less when you're going over snow in the wintertime. So definitely something that you're going to want to have at some point. For sure. And I've got a lot of frame issues here. I think it's because I've been playing a little bit long this afternoon here, so that's something I'm gonna probably put her on pause and go back and I'm gonna have to restart the client completely, because that's pretty much unplayable right now. I've got 15 copper all ready to go. 7 flux sitting on my anvil. I just have to get my hammer, but we're going to get this started warming up. Got my ingot molds over here just in case we run into issues. And then yeah, just only doing 4 at a time instead of 5, just because you're only going to be welding 2 at a time together, right? So why do any more than that? So just shift right clicking with a torch in your hand instead of using a fire starter to get your forge going. It's going to save you a lot of that headache in the future. To make leather, we're going to need some barrels. So this one has lime water in it. To make lime water, you just need to put flux into a barrel with water. Each piece of flux will transform up to 500 millibuckets of water. So you need 2 pieces of flux for every bucket. I started with 2 buckets worth in this one. And I now have this small soaked hide. In the next one I can do medium rawhide. And once I hit the seal on here, it will tell me what the output is, if there's a valid output, just in this part here. So just note that if you've sealed your barrel with stuff in there and you don't get this over here, you might not have enough lime water, or whatever else might be the issue. Once you have your soaked hides, you're going to need to put it down on a piece of log so you can use a knife to scrape it. And let's just get up here so we can see it a little bit better, but you just right click and it'll change from pink to that beige-ish, yellowish color. And I ran out of that. One small scraped hide. So yeah, just left clicking will get it off there. And yeah, I'm going to put this on a pause. I'm going to restart my client so that we can come back and do this without... Well, I'll finish off scraping the rest of these hides and we'll go over the next step here. All right, we're back here, and yeah, I'm not very good at multitasking. Ended up melting off all of my copper there, so cool these down, get my molds back. The other thing you can do is keep a barrel full of water close by your forge here, and you can put the ingot molds in there one at a time. But it's a lot easier when you're doing multiples just to have them over there. So this forge is already up to heat, so these, yeah, already at can work level there. Can weld, so once these are up to welding temperature, forgot to get my stupid hammer. Put them on the anvil, shift, and yeah, they're not hot enough to weld anymore. So we can wait a little bit longer, but when it says can weld and then danger beside it, that's when you get into that zone where you really want to get it off right quick. Shift right click, we got a double ingot now. So yeah, only 7 more to go, or sorry, 5 more to go. Small scrape tide. Still need an empty hand, eh? That's annoying. Oops, wrong button. Right click, not left click, SJ. These guys will be ready here in a minute. And yeah, I will continue on doing this and bring you guys back when we want to play the anvil game, and I've got all of these hides all scraped up. Alright, so we've got our double ingots of copper now. Just throw them all in here. Just this formation, we get our copper anvil. Next we'll need to heat up this copper ingot, but we'll do that here in a minute. And then we'll play one round of the anvil game on there because I really hate it, as I mentioned before. But so we've got our medium soaked hide in here as well. It's ready to go. And down to 100 millibuckets of lime water. You can just use a bucket to get it out of there, or you can keep putting it in there. Just note that we got some odd amounts because the small scraped hides took 300 each and the medium took 400. You know, all together, if you add those up, that was 1,900 millibuckets. So that's where we ended up. In here, I've got some tannin. I can't even do the recipe from there. To get tannin, oh, I need a recipe for it. In a sealed barrel, we need to put one bucket of water and 1 log, but it can only be certain kinds of logs. So just note as it goes through the sequence here, birch, maple, chestnut, sequoia, and Douglas fir, I think, are the 5 kinds. Oh, hickory's the 6th kind. Takes 8 minutes, and then you'll get tannin there. So we just take, once we've scraped our recipe, then we put it... Oh, we have to go through a water recipe to make a prepared hide. I missed this step. Haha! Yes, and then the prepared hide goes into the tannin. Okay, so I'm going to need to do that extra step, but that should be pretty easy. We just need another barrel with water in it, actually. We can do that here. Just the wooden bucket can't make water sources in the world. Just if you haven't already tried that, just so you know, you can't do that. So just for everybody's amusements there. So we're going to need 2 buckets total. So small. Yes, from scraped to prepared is the step that we're going through next there. And of course we can come over here and play our game with our medium hide. Medium scraped hide. So once these guys are done, then at 1945, strange, it says, oh, I put it in at 1945. It takes 8 hours, so it'll be a little bit into November 1st before that's ready. I guess we may as well fire up the forge. So once we get this copper ingot up to the can work stage is when we can actually take it out and put it onto the anvil to look at the recipes and play the anvil game. And I am really dreading it on camera. The one thing to note about the anvil game is that it is the amount of distance that each of these hits and draws do on your anvil is dependent on the seed. So you can't just watch a tutorial on somebody else doing the anvil game and do the same pattern as them, because in your world it will not work the same because it will be off by just a little bit. So in that instance, each world is a little bit unique. So we'll get that off. Now that we've got the most time to work with, we're going to hit the plans here and let's make an axe. Why not? So to make the axe, we have to have a punch as the last one, a hit, which is any one of these 3 hits. It doesn't matter which one, and then an upset. So we have to have an upset third last, or an upset last, a punch third last, and second last has to be one of the hits. So the greens will move your bottom bar to the right, and the red ones will move it to the left. Oh, I need my hammer in there, or in the offhand. The hammer has to be here or in the offhand for these to work. So this has to be third last. And my copper ingot is cooled down too much, so now I've got to put it back into here to warm it back up again. This is the most annoying thing about it all. Like, I don't have too much of a problem playing the game back and forth, but with the ingot cooling down so much when it's on there. Like it's super annoying. Extremely annoying. You get to pick up where you left off, but it's still... So you can see here I've got the 3 things right, but I didn't land with them exactly even, so... oh, upset's third last. Haha. Back there. Third last. Second last. Last. Nope. Let's move this. Third last. Nope. And my ingots cooled down too much again. You will go through so much charcoal playing this game. It's absolutely not worth it. The only things that you really want to be doing on the anvil is making your armor. In my honest opinion, it's pretty useless for doing anything else. Just make your molds for making your tools and do it from there, because it's just so frustrating doing this stupid game. And punches last. So happened to luckily get it there. So this has become a well-forged copper axe head. And it was explained in here. Okay, so there are 4 tiers of forging bonus. I got, and this is just happens to be, I don't know if it's RNG or if you got like perfectly for, or if it's just like the amount of number of times you had to pull it off and put it back on for the degree of your forging bonus, but that's kind of the ideas there. Wasn't able to save my charcoal. So these guys should be ready. A little bit quick there. I'm gonna put it on a pause when it comes back. So yeah, basically once these prepared hides are ready, then we take them, we put them in the tannin, then they become actual leather. And then with the leather, you can actually use the napping, just like just like any of the rocks. So leather napping recipes. So this is how you'll make your leather boots. You just nap it out into this pattern. Flasks are something I'll probably do a little bit later. Saddles are going to be useful. And the armor pieces, the main things. And then the other thing you're going to need your leather for is making the bellows, as I mentioned earlier, so that we can move into the Iron Age. And then from the Iron Age, we need to be able to work our iron to be able to get into the Steel Age. That's sort of the natural progression of it there. So we've got a prepared hide there. Put you in, get you going, unseal you, and just, yeah, we'll have leather at 12:37 on November 1st. And we'll bring you folks back for that as we get into the leather section here. I guess I forgot to point out that I got my sheep up to full familiarity, which was 35. Actually, I think 35 is the highest that we can go to. But once I got them up past 30, then I was able to breed them together. Just note that for sheep, it takes 4 months for them to have the baby. So the Ewe has been pregnant now for about 3 days. And I've sheared these guys once, which was about 4 days ago. So it took me an extra day to go from the stage where they're familiar enough for me to let me shear them to where they're at now. But hopefully they regrow their wool soon. And as I mentioned in the last episode there, I just made a spindle, put the spindle on, and we've got the wool yarn for making our insulated gear, which we're going to have well before winter. I thought I was just getting it by, but I've still got another 8 days, which definitely won't be a problem to get there at the end. In terms of my farming, it hasn't actually gotten cold enough for these to die, but the one melon seed that I grabbed that I showed you in episode 1 or 2 there, it says it's dead, but I'm going to leave this over the winter and see if it springs back to life in next spring. And my squash has died. These are a little bit easier on the temperature, so hopefully these can get that last 20%. And this barley we can get there and actually get a harvest in before they die as well. So just keeping my fingers crossed on that front there. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, I've left all of my food close by here alone, and I've got quite a bit of it saved up here now as well, because I've got an apple tree just right there. I've harvested, 29 plus 25, so almost, 54 apples to go. That'll last me quite a bit. Lots of grains from going out and collecting all the seeds earlier. And yeah, a little bit of onion. My blueberries are now rotten. That's fine. I don't know what to do with them right now. And I did go out and kill some deer to get some venison, just to help make some sandwiches, which really hasn't brought my protein up a lot, but I guess as I've slowly been eating them, they've been coming up not too bad, so that's good there. I guess it's about time to make a little bit more bread, so we'll do that. And I can have some more sandwiches on hand for just, keeping my nutrition up to snuff here. Just in the midst of making some more sandwiches here. I heard the barrels finish, so got 5 leather there. This medium prepared will go, and I think this will make 2 more pieces of leather, so I'll have 7 altogether, which isn't too shabby at all. That's all finished cooking. Oh, need the knife in there. There we go, we got 4 nice little sandwiches. They expire pretty quickly. Actually, this one's not too bad at all. 5 days, yeah. These aren't too good, especially if you're going to be going out and doing big explorations. So just something for you guys to keep track of there. And I've got a copper axe now, so I got something a little bit more sturdy for collecting wood. And yeah, oh, leather napping, that's what we were going to do, so the boots are like this. Tunic like that, saddle like that, helmet like that, and pants like that. Shouldn't be too bad to make the 5 that I want to get through. Oops, the boots are the tricky one. Okay, we leave the bottom row alone and start there. Pants were like that. Tunic was like that. Hat was like that. And actually, I'm not going to make the saddle just yet because I want to have 3 leather left over for my bellows so that I can get into doing ironworking. So that'll be the next thing that I get up to in the playthrough. But that's going to be it for this episode. Oh, wait, we got these to make so I can make my first couple of pieces of insulated clothing, right? As I mentioned before, these just go into this slot. So now I've got insulated with my iron greaves. Doesn't add any to my armor, but it will help keep me a little bit warmer. And actually my arrow is now going up instead of down. And see? Down without the... Oh. But yeah, just 2 pieces of insulated clothing, changed it from down to up. Oh, now it's down again, but I imagine once these sheep grow their wool back, then we'll be able to get the other 2 done, and we'll be warm enough for the winter. Anyways, back to the outro. Appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one.